I feel like the game against Catholic it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one for us to see where we stack up against competition. They used to be a 7A team that dropped down to 6A. They've got a lot of kids. They're a perennial powerhouse. They've got a lot of good athletes. Leading up to this week, we had a great performance against Ashdown. We scored 35 points in the first quarter. Our offense was pretty electric that night. Our defense played well. We were juggernauts on defense, didn't give up any points. So leading up to our benefit game with Ashdown and then our preparation this week, I feel like that we're super prepared for Catholic. We match up well with them. We have team speed. I think we're going to play a little faster than they will. So I feel like our matchup this week's going to go in our favor, and I expect for us to get a W on Friday night.
What are your thoughts about this week's and the off-season's practices in the blistering hot sun?
Well, that can play to your advantage, and I think it has ours because we're used to playing in the heat, so our bodies are accustomed to the heat. Our bodies, we're used to being in the sun when it's hot, so I don't think that's going to be an issue for us. We haven't had any kids cramping up, nothing like that in the heat. We preach hydration, so as long as the kids stay hydrated and we do the things we need to do off the field, I don't think we're going to have any issues as far as the heat. And this week's practice, we've practiced in the afternoon. We haven't had any issues, and I don't think the heat's going to be a factor. It's just going to be smash mouth football and let the best team win on Friday, and that's going to be the Razorbacks.
What group do you coach, and how will they contribute to the team tonight?
So I coach defensive backs, and that's going to be your corners and your safeties. I got a really good group of kids this year. I've got Malik Dangerfield, DeAndre Burnell, Xavier Crawford, Richard Tice, Jaden Flowers. These guys have really got they're guys that have stepped up. We got juniors and seniors playing in the defensive backfield. So they've got years of experience in our scheme of football, what we're playing on the back end. So I feel like that's going to give us advantage against their receivers because we've prepped for this, and those guys have a lot of playing time underneath their belt. So I think with our preparation this week and what we're trying to do defensively, I think we're going to have an advantage over their receiving core.
Which coach and which group stood out to you the most this week during practice?
Coach Outlaw has done a great job. I'm going to say Coach Outlaw. He's done a great job preparing us. He's the defensive coordinator this year. As far as the defensive staff goes, we come in and we get a game plan going, and he's done a great job leading all the assistant coaches as far as what he wants and what he expects out of each position group. We have a great game plan going into Friday. So just all that preparation that we did on Sunday and all throughout the week, I feel like we're going to showcase that on Friday night. And as far as the groups that stick out, I mean, we've had a great week of practice this week, and I feel like all of our groups have had great days, great practices, but our linebacking core is really solid. I mean, we're pretty solid across the board, but when you got guys like Rodney Kinley, Christian Roberts that has played on defense for 3 years in a row, been 3-year starters. I mean, that comes with a lot of good things for us. So when you got two guys like that leading the defense, good things are going to happen for us on Friday night.
Which athletes do you think we should keep a lookout for tonight?
Man, there's a whole bunch. So we'll start with offense. You've got Will Dunbar. He's been spinning the ball. He's become a leader on offense. He throws the ball really well. He's been making good decisions. So I feel like Will Dunbar has done a great job stepping up and filling in the role at quarterback. At our running back position, man, we got two dudes that I would consider probably some of the best running backs in 5A football. You got Tony Noble and you got Zephaniah Black. I mean, Tony Noble, he's runs the ball extremely hard. He's fast, and then you got Zeph that he's a bowling ball type kid. He's hard to bring down, and he's extremely fast. So we got a great double punch in the backfield with our running backs. So, and then you got our receiving core. We got a lot of guys coming back that are upperclassmen. You got Gabe Braggs, Xavier Crawford, DeAndre Burnell. And another guy I'm probably missing, but those are the guys that come to mind to me. You know, DeAndre's a two-time all-conference receiver for us. Gabe Braggs has shown out in the summer and the fall, and then you got Xavier Crawford that has really sure hands, good hands, stuff like that. So I feel like you get the ball in those guys' hands at any point in time, they can take one to the house. On defense, I've already mentioned Kinley and Christian Roberts. As far as our linebacking core, they're, like I said, they're leaders. They're field generals out there. They get guys lined up. They get the calls. They make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do on defense. And you know, Christian Roberts also plays offense. That's the guy I forgot. He's a great receiver, sure hands, and a leader on the defense. As far as our D-line goes, you got Myquan Traylor coming back. You got Davion Price playing nose and Jerry Deloney. Those guys have had real good off seasons. I expect a lot out of them. For our defensive backs, you got Malik Dangerfield coming back. He's very good, athletic, can run, can cover guys. He's a very good DB. DeAndre is playing razor. He's a very physical kid. He's more of our run fit and safety. He's done a great job in the offseason as well. And then, you know, we got Richard Tice and Jaden Flowers playing corner. You got a lot of speed on the edge. I feel like we can run with anybody. They've worked hard, and our ball skills, our coverage skills have gotten a lot better in the summer and the offseason. So I feel like as a team, offense and defense, we're extremely well-rounded, and you know, that's going to play into our favor tonight when we kick the ball off.
How do you think this game will set the tone for the rest of the season?
Your first game of the year is always a big one because you can either gain momentum or you lose a little momentum. You know, if you win, you ride the wave into your next couple non-con games, and then that carries right over into your conference games. So a win tonight would be huge for us. That's something that we could carry over into next week when we go play, and you know, the following week and the following week. Then if something were to happen and we didn't come out on top tonight, you know, you got to regroup next week, figure out what you did wrong, fix those problems, and then come back and fight and claw to win your next game to get that momentum back. So to me, to win this game tonight and get that momentum, that's going to be a huge thing for us going into the rest of the season.
What sets apart the athletes on the Arkansas High football team from other teams?
So this is kind of funny. I have a lot of coaches ask me where I coach, you know, if they don't know me. And when I tell them Texarkana, the thing that comes to their mind is team speed, which we got a lot of speed. So I feel like tonight, you know, our team speed is going to be apparent. It's going to show on the football field, and we're going to use that to our advantage on both the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. So team, you know, I was always coached that speed kills. Speed kills. When, you know, once if you can get to the ball quick, if you can, you know, make yards after catches, yards after contact, man, that can really hurt a opposing team. So I think our speed and our physicality is going to be what's going to set us apart tonight.